Okay, so once again, we apologize for the delay here this afternoon or this evening. Not much we can do whenever the track is oiled down right at the end of qualifying. So we are going to run the compact heat races first, kind of let them clear off the way before we move into our late models and modified street stocks, mini trucks, and trophy stocks here at Midvale Speedway. So starting on the pole, the 39 is Dan Sharpless from East Canton, Ohio, of Phil Bunton Jr. The 6R is Ryan Alm. The 7S is Savannah Alm. The 22 is Katie Wood. The 85 is Jonathan Weber. Lights are out. 8-lap heat race for the NAC Tuning Compacts. Getting ready to go green. Again, compacts running first tonight because of the oil down on the racetrack in qualifying. Again, thank you for your patience. Let's go racing on week number 8. Green flag is in the air. Sharpless has the lead on the bottom. Bunton going to slide up the racetrack a little bit. Sharpless has him clear into turn number 3. Bunton tries to get to the bottom. Ryan Alm is there in the 6R. To the number 1. Caution on the speedway. So getting ready to go back to green, 1 lap complete. Sharpless and Bunton, green flag back in the air. Sharpless again going to have the race lead off of turn number 2 on the bottom, going to slide up the racetrack just a little bit. Bunton right in his tire tracks, along with the 6 of Ryan Alm. Katie Wood sideways through 3 and 4. She's going to get back up onto the racetrack. Savannah Alm in 4th. And now Katie is slow and going to pull to the infield. Tough break for Katie Wood in the 22. Sharpless starting to pull away from Ryan Alm in 3rd, Savannah Alm 4th. Good crossover move by Ryan Alm to take over the 2nd spot. Here comes Savannah, looking to get around Phil Bunton Jr. for that 3rd spot. Sharpless halfway home, 4 and 4 to go. Savannah Alm to the outside of Phil Bunton Jr. for the 3rd spot is your race leader, Dan Sharpless. Going to come to the white flag. 1 lap to go for Sharpless. Ryan Alm. Good battle on the racetrack between Savannah and Bunton. Caution on the speedway for the 79 of Phil Bunton and the 7S of Savannah Alm. Here until last week, and then we had it 3 times last week, and we get it in the first race tonight. 1 lap shootout. Dan Sharpless, Ryan Alm, Savannah Alm, Phil Bunton Jr. Green flag in the air. Jonathan Weber in 5th. Sharpless will have the race lead. Savannah gets into her brother Ryan a little bit. And off of turn number 4, checkered flag for Dan Sharpless. Ryan Alm finishes 2nd, Savannah Alm in 3rd. Phil Bunton in 4th, and Jonathan Weber rounding out the top 5. Heat race winner for the Knack Tuning Compacts from East Canton, Ohio, in the DLC Racing Equipment, Exotic Graphics Signworks, TBG Tuned, sponsor number 39. Put your hands together for Dan Sharpless. The Stuber behind the wheel of the 69 Bucky machine. The 27 is last week's B feature winner, Billy Hilliker. The 45 is Timmy Kaup. The 53 is Curtis Finlayson. The 443 of Connor McLean, and the 57 of Blaze Bacon. 8-lap heat race number 2 for the compacts. Getting ready to go green. Stuber, Hilliker on the front row. Green flag in the air. Billy Hilliker will have the race lead. Stuber back to the 2nd spot. Here comes Curtis Finlayson. Finlayson has a B feature win this year, as does Billy Hilliker. Tabitha Stuber has a couple trophy stock wins. Finlayson to the outside of Stuber for that 2nd spot. Blaze Bacon up to the 5th spot. Stuber all over those rumble strips through 3 and 4. Timmy Kaup up the racetrack in the 45, going to allow the 443 of Connor McLean to get to the bottom. Kaup going to maintain that 4th spot. Finlayson up to 2nd now, finally clear of Tabitha Stuber, as he works his way to catch the 27 of Hilliker. And just as I say that, Tabitha Stuber battling back on the bottom. Side by side again for the 2nd spot. Stuber and Finlayson. Billy Hilliker, your race leader. Tabitha Stuber back up to 2nd. Finlayson 3rd. Kaup 4th. Bacon 5th. McLean 6th. White flag for the 27 of Hilliker. And checkered flag for Billy Hilliker. Tabitha Stuber finishes 2nd. Timmy Kaup 3rd. Curtis Finlayson 4th. Blaze Bacon rounding out the top 5. Pulling to the line, the 27 is Billy Hilliker. The Pork Chop Vinyl Graphics, Accurate Auto, Greg Parasima Spouting, sponsored number 27. Put your hands together, Billy Hilliker. So the fast heat for the compacts. The 16 is Mike McDonald. The 7 is the General Will Custer. The 44 is Mike Stuber. The 178 is Stephen Feaster. The 13 is Kenny Feaster Jr. The 64 is Jamie Leslie, last week's feature winner. And your fastest qualifier tonight, the 007, is Don Rufner Jr. Almost 3 wide for the 4th spot is Don Rufner Jr. working his way up through the pack. Will Custer falls to the back of the pack. Mike McDonald, your race leader. Mike Stuber, second. Feaster, Rufner, and Feaster, your top 5. McDonald still your race leader. Stuber, Feaster now side by side for second, and here comes Don Rufner Jr. and Stephen Feaster in the 178. Good battle up front in the fast compact heat race. Kenny Feaster Jr. to the outside of Mike McDonald for the race lead as they come to the white flag this time. Feaster going to squirt out in front. Here comes Stephen Feaster for second. White flag in the air. Final time into turn number 3. Kenny Feaster Jr. will win heat race number 3. Stephen Feaster finishes second. Mike McDonald third. Jamie Leslie fourth, and Mike Stuber running out the top 5. Pulling to the line, fast heat race winner. From Midvale, Ohio, in the Feasters Flooring Careless Vinyl, sponsored number 13. Put your hands together for Kenny Feaster Jr. Starting on the pole, the 62 is Caden Scott. The 65 is Blake Miley, last week's feature winner. Matt Miley, your fastest qualifier on the outside in the 75. Tabitha Stuber in the 5. Getting ready to go green. 8-lap heat race for the trophy stocks. Matt Miley to the inside of Stuber. Oh, beating and banging. Matt Miley, Tabitha Stuber. And Matt broke front, something broke on that 75 as he goes down into turn number 1. And we stay under the green flag with Scott, your race leader, Stuber second, and Blake Miley in third. Halfway home, 3 in, 3 to go. 6-lap heat race for the trophy stocks. White flag for Caden Scott. And checkered flag for Caden Scott. Tabitha Stuber in second. Blake Miley in third. Matt Miley finishes fourth. So pulling to the line in the Hoops Auto Body, France Trucking, sponsor number 62 from Roswell, Ohio. Put your hands together for Caden Scott. And Rick Brink. Green flag in the air. Blake Ripley will have the race lead off of turn number 2. Barney Gerber in second. Bob Johnson up to that third spot. Squires runs fourth. Gerber to the outside of Ripley for the race lead. Gerber, your race leader. Blake Ripley in second. 99 of Bob Johnson in third. Chad Squires fourth. Bill Aubiel fifth. The 99 of Johnson takes over the second spot from Blake Ripley. White flag in the air for Barney Gerber. Off turn number 4, checkered flag for Barney Gerber. Bob Johnson finishes second. Blake Ripley will finish third, Bill Aubiel fourth, and Chad Squires in fifth. Pulling to the line from Sugar Creek, Ohio in the RV Parts Express, Swiss Automart, Pied Piper Muffler and Tire, Boulevard Cleaner and Tuxedo Shop, B.D. Gerber Trucking, Bud and Tootie's Careless Vinyls, Poor White Trash Man, Fabricating, Badstone Band, and E.T. Tire and Brake sponsor number 2T. Put your hands together for Barney Gerber. So getting ready to go green, Riddle and Ritter. 6-lap heat race for the McIntosh Oil Company late models is green. Jonathan Ritter have the race lead on the outside. Riddle drops back to second, then Snyder and Short. Bob Snyder Jr. to the inside of George Riddle for the second spot. Short up to third. White flag coming out for Jonathan Ritter, Bob Snyder Jr., Brandon Short. The two crate engines up front in the fast heat for the McIntosh Oil Company late models. Off of turn number 4. Checkered flag for Jonathan Ritter. Snyder second, Short third, and Riddle in fourth. Heat race number 1 winner from Weirton, West Virginia in the Ken's Auto Service Center. Smith's Auto Sales, Molnar Family Racing, sponsored number 48. Put your hands together for the Mountain State Missile, Jonathan Ritter. Six-lap heat race number 2 for the McIntosh Oil Company late models is green. Problems for Bob the Animal Eichel and the 77 of Bear Swartz. Swartz pulls pit side. Caution on the speedway. So getting ready to come back to the green flag. We'll try it again. AP Wren, Bob the Animal Eichel on the front row, losing Bear Swartz in the 77. Green flag back in the air. AP Wren will have the race lead into turn number 3. Bob the Animal Eichel in second. Chris Grubbs tries to get to the inside of Bob the Animal Eichel. AP Wren, your leader. Speeding ticket for AP Wren. Black flag going to come out for AP Wren. He goes pit side, and we've got a 2-car showdown for 3 laps. In the second heat race for the McIntosh Oil Company late models, Bob the Animal Eichel, Chris Grubbs. Animal and Grubbs side by side for the lead. White flag this time, Bob the Animal Eichel, Chris Grubbs. Checkered flag for Bob the Animal Eichel and Chris Grubbs. Pulling to the line. From Stone Creek, Ohio in the AW, Tipco Oil and Gas, Rufner Racing, sponsored number 69. Put your hands together for Bob the Animal Eichel. So very tight point battle in this division. Your point leader, Mike Stone, by just a couple markers over Brandon Bailey. Only a couple more back to Philip Cox and Kevin McClintock. So very tight 4-person battle. Green flag in the air. 8-lap race number 1. McMillan gonna have the race lead by a nose off of turn number 2. Leisure gonna battle back on the bottom. Little bit of contact between Leisure and McMillan. Doug McMillan now almost clear of Zach Leisure. Philip Cox now to the outside of Leisure. Doug McMillan, your race leader. Leisure and Cox, a little bit of contact through 3 and 4. McClintock way up the racetrack. McClintock hanging on to that 4th spot, looking to the outside of Zach Leisure for 3rd as Philip Cox hunts McMillan for the race lead. Kevin McClintock got his hands full in that 4th position. Doug McMillan out front, Philip Cox 2nd, Zach Leisure 3rd. White flag for Big Mac. And off for turn number 4, checkered flag to Doug McMillan. Philip Cox 2nd, Zach Leisure 3rd, Kevin McClintock 4th, Lewis McGrath 5th. So your fast heat winner in the Van Meter Auto Repair Modifieds from New Philadelphia, Ohio in the J-Mac Auto Detailing. Doug Moore, Sales and Leasing at Chuck Nicholson, Lee's Famous Recipe. Haas Body Shop, Signs and Graphics by Coney, sponsored. Number 54, put your hands together for the Big Mac, Doug McMillan. Or that if you're up moving around, you are wearing your masks. You've got to do your part and keep your masks on when you're up moving around. It's a requirement by the local health department and the state of Ohio. Green flag in the air, Bobby DeVore, the 2nd on the pole. Brady McLean in the 99, the 4 is Jerry DeVore. The 338 is Brandon France, the 27 is Randy Gray, and the 12 is Vanessa McCreary. Bobby DeVore will lead lap number 1. Brother Jerry DeVore right behind. DeVore going to lock up those brakes a little bit. The 27 of Randy Gray, feature winner this year, going to go to the outside of Jerry DeVore for 2nd. Bobby DeVore, your race leader. Jerry DeVore back to the 3rd spot. The 27 of Randy Gray in the 2nd spot. Brandon France looking to the outside of Jerry DeVore. Bobby continues to lead. Randy Gray trying to get to the bottom of Bobby DeVore. Not able to do it. White flag for Bobby DeVore. Off turn 2, Randy Gray right in the tire tracks of Bobby DeVore. Looking to the outside, now going to tuck in behind off of turn number 4. Your winner, Bobby DeVore, the 2nd. Randy Gray finishes 2nd. Then Jerry DeVore, Brandon France, and Brady McLean rounding out the top 5. From Midvale, Ohio, in the DeVore's Auto Repair, Rent to Own, Quaker Drive-Thru, Don and Jerry's Pizzeria, Extreme Reflections and Detailing, Allen's Muffler, France Trucking, sponsor number 75. Put your hands together for Bobby DeVore. On the pole, the 67 is Bob Page. The 28 is Steve Mowry. The 55 is Robbie Kordiak. The number 22 is Kyle Rector. Row number 3, the 22 is Kylie Wood. Dennis Wood, your fastest qualifier in the 88. In the 75, in the heat race is Kevin McClintock. In for Bob Passwater Sr. And the number 7 is Gabe Pringle. 8-lap heat race number 1, getting ready to go green. Page and Mowry. Green flag in the air. Bob Page will have the race lead on lap number 1. Page, your race leader. Mowry in second. Kordiak runs third. Rector in fourth. Dennis Wood fifth. Kylie Wood up the racetrack. McClintock going to drop to the bottom and take over that 6th spot. Good battle for 4th between Dennis Wood, Kyle Rector, as Bob Page continues to lead. White flag for Bob Page in the grocery getter, 67. Checkered flag for Bob Page. Steve Mowry finishes second. Kordiak third. Wood fourth. Rector fifth. McClintock sixth. Pringle seventh. And Wood in eighth.
Yeah, I know.
Pulling to the line from Yerkesville. Together for Bob Page, pulling double duty tonight. The 118 of Colt Locker, the 3 of Kyle Grove, who broke in qualifying, and the 99 of Jason Gruhl. 8-lap heat race, final preliminary race. Again, a very brief intermission after this one. Getting ready to go green. Green flag in the air, Porco and Berkey. Ian Porco, your race leader. Berkey second. Donnelly and Kogar battle for third. Kogar and Donnelly battle for that third spot. Walker and Grove side by side. Halfway home, 4 in, 4 to go for Ian Porco. Kyle Grove to the outside of Kogar. He's going to take over the third spot. Going to now work on Chase Berkey for the second spot. Last week's feature winner on the outside. White flag for Ian Porco. Final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag for Ian Porco. Grove finishes second. Berkey third. Locker in fourth. And Kogar in fifth. So pulling to the line from Yorksville, Ohio in the Trenton service, Lightning Signs and Decals, JT's Pressure Washing, sponsored number 64. Put your hands together for Ian Porco. So again, that's going to bring us to a Matt Miley in the 75, Blake Miley, green 10-lap trophy stock feature on the very small oval. Green flag in the air. Tyler Scott, your race leader. Tabitha Stuber in second. Blake Miley, Matt Miley. Oh, Matt Miley way wide. Tyler Scott halfway home. 5 in, 5 to go. Tabitha Stuber and Blake Miley. Final lap, Tyler Scott, Tabitha Stuber, checkered flag for Tyler Scott, Tabitha Stuber, Blake Miley, Matt Miley. So pulling in to Knack Tuning Victory Lane. Here's your winner, Tyler Scott. Well, that was the very, very, very small oval. What was your first impressions?
Horrible.
Okay. So you're not recommending to do that again?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Well, nonetheless, who do you want to thank on this 62 tonight? Obviously for Caden staying home or wherever he's at.
Hoops Auto Body, High Impact Tree Service, France Trucking, John's Auto Body, Cronizers, Uncle Brent, Dale Beatty, and my little brother for letting me run his car.
There you go. And Dad.
Yeah.
Maybe. Congratulations, buddy. Welcome into Victory Lane.
Thanks.
Your winner, Tyler Scott. '26 of Chad Squires, the 68 of Ron Hoopengarner Jr., and the 000 of Blake Ripley. Getting ready to go green. And the green flag is in the air. Bob Johnson takes the race lead. Gerber on the inside. He'll have the second spot. Barney Gerber to the outside of Bob Johnson for the race lead. Johnson going to hang on. Gerber tucks in behind. Aubil runs third. Squires fourth. Gerber again to the outside of Johnson for the race lead. Bob Johnson hanging on to that race lead. Gerber in second. Aubil still in third. Front two pulling away just a little bit through lap traffic. So rollover in turn 3 and 4. Ron Hoopengarner Jr. Hearing Hoopengarner okay in turns 3 and 4. He is okay. Going to take a little bit of time before they roll that over and get him out. So Chad Squires and Ron Hoopengarner Jr. get together over in turns 3 and 4. Hoopengarner up on his side. 7 complete. Getting ready to go green. Johnson chose the bottom, Gerber on the top, green flag in the air. Johnson, Gerber. Barney Gerber with a big charge around the outside. He'll take the race lead. Johnson back to second. Abil third. Ripley fourth. Brink fifth. Actually, Rick Brink in fourth. He's a lap ahead of the 00 of Ripley. 2 to go for Barney Gerber, Bob Johnson, Bill Abil, and Rick Brink. White flag for Barney Gerber. And off at turn number 4, checkered flag for Barney Gerber. Bob Johnson finishes second. Bill Abil will come around to finish in third. And Rick Brink will finish fourth. Barney Gerber using the outside lane on the restart. Take another trip to Knack Tuning Victory Lane. Pulling into Knack Tuning Victory Lane in the BD Gerber Trucking, RV Parts Express, My Piper Muffler and Tire, Swiss Auto Mart, Careless Vinyls, Bud and Tooties, sponsored number 2T. Here's your mini truck feature winner, Barney Gerber. All right, Barn, great job on that restart, man. I'll tell you what, this thing was fast on the outside.
Yes, it was. We worked on it today till about 4 o'clock. Bill Abil scaled it out for me. Appreciate all his help. Dan Booth and everybody else that helped me. I'd like to thank Bob Jones and Brad Hahn. We spent a whole week getting this thing back together after it got wrecked real bad. So,
yeah, and you've had one of those ups and down seasons, right? You got wrecked earlier in the year. Took a lot of time to get this thing back together, but I'll tell you what. Once you guys did a great job on it because this thing's fast again.
Yes, it was. It was a long week, but we got her back together again.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Your winner, Barney Gerber. Is Jonathan Ritter, the 17 of Bob Snyder Jr., the 8 57 of AP Wren. Bear Swartz in the 77 and Bob the Animal Eichel in the 69. 25-lap McIntosh Oil Company late model feature getting ready to go green. Green flag is in the air. For the start of the 25-lap McIntosh Oil Company. Hopefully nobody unplugs their brain and we can get some laps in the books. Grubbs and Riddle. Green flag in the air. Chris Grubbs, George Riddle still battle for that race lead. Jonathan Ritter in the third spot with the 18 of Brandon Short, the 17 of Bob Snyder Jr. George Riddle. Jonathan Ritter trying to get to the bottom of George Riddle. He will. Brandon Short and Bob Snyder Jr. side by side for the fourth spot. Chris Grubbs continues to lead 7 laps on the board. Jonathan Ritter and George Riddle continue to battle side by side for second. Bob Snyder Jr. and Brandon Short nowhere to go right now. Drivers just trying to be patient and log some laps here as we come to get 9 complete. Matt Gribble pulls pit side in the 169 as Ritter will take the second spot from George Riddle. And now Snyder going to move around Riddle. So getting ready to go back to green, Jonathan Ritter, Bob Snyder Jr., neither one wanted to admit fault. They both went to the tail. Green flag back in the air. Brandon Short going to scoot out to the race lead via the outside lane. So Brandon Short to the race lead. 25 of Chris Grubbs back to second. Here comes the 48 of Ritter. 4 laps to go for Jonathan Ritter to catch the 18 of Brandon Short. Brandon Short, a full straightaway ahead of the 48 of Jonathan Ritter. Ritter about a half a straightaway ahead of the 17 of Bob Snyder Jr., who moved around Chris Grubbs up into that 3rd spot. Grubbs 4th, Riddle 5th, and Bob the Animal Eichel in 6th. For Brandon Short. Off turn number 4, 7th win of the season for Brandon Short. Jonathan Ritter will come around and finish 2nd, Bob Snyder Jr. 3rd, Chris Grubbs 4th, and George Riddle in 5th. For the 7th time in 2020 at Midvale Speedway, Brandon Short will pull in to neck tuning victory lane. In the Hunter Race Engines, All-Star Performance, Bicknell Racing Products, Jason Deach Trailer Sales, Direct Detail, and Ernest Performance sponsored number 18. So getting ready to climb out for the 7th time in 2020. Here's your winner, Brandon Short. So he brings down the black car. You had motor problems last week with this car. You went to back to old reliable in the white machine, put it in victory lane. How's this black car treating you tonight?
Well, it looks like we got some upset fans, so that tells you.
Yeah, well, there you go. Bottom line is you were the fastest qualifier. The fastest qualifier, obviously the top 4 qualifiers not on the clock in the feature. It's the way the rule's been here at Midvale Speedway for years. But nonetheless, you were very patient. Just talk about patience, because when you had Ritter and you had Riddle and those guys side by side in front of you, Grubbs was another one, you just had to be patient.
Well, in my family, nobody has patience, so I don't know where I got that from. But, yeah, just riding. I mean, you know, we're racing down here to have fun and to practice. You know, I haven't been doing this late model stuff for that long. This is only, my 2nd year. I mean, we're planning on traveling throughout the whole Midwest racing. So, you know, if anyone's upset, I get it. But, you know, I'm just trying to have some fun and learn. You know, that's what it comes down to.
The bottom line is if they want to beat you, they got to go faster. That's just the way it is. That's the way racing's always worked. Who you want to thank out of this 18 tonight?
Well, we'll thank Direct Detail, Earnest Performance, Hutter Racing Engines, All-Star Performance, all the fans in the stands coming out for supporting Midvale Speedway. Appreciate you guys. And that's it.
Congratulations, buddy. 7-time.
Yep, thank you.
Your winner, Brandon Short. The modified feature tonight for the Van Meter Auto Repair Modifieds will be a 32-lap feature in honor of Bill Bittaker. So how we're going to do it, the first 2 laps will be caution flag counted laps, and then we will run a 30-lap feature under green. The first 2 laps, we are going to ask all of the fans to stand in a moment of silence in honor of Bill Bittaker. And then Blake Bittaker, his grandson, going to throw the green flag tonight. So as we get ready to go here, again, we'll let you know the first 2 laps will be under caution, and then we will throw the green flag for a 30-lap feature, 2 laps in honor of Bill Bittaker. Starting on the pole, Matt Gribble Jr. in the 12. The 338 is Brandon France. The 27 is Randy Gray. The 87 is Zach Leisure. The 54 is Doug McMillan. The 66 is Lewis McGrath. Row number 4, the 09 of Philip Cox, the 55 of Brandon Bailey, the 38 of Kevin McClintock, the 49 of Bob Page, the 331 of Mike Stone, your fastest qualifier and point leader, then the 24 of Nick Grubbs, the 4 of Jerry DeVore, the 99 of Brady McLean, and the 75 of Bobby DeVore II. So again, they're going to come in right now to the caution flag. The first 2 laps will be scored laps in memory of Bill Bittaker. So these first 2 laps, before we go green flag racing, and Blake Bittaker waves the green flag, a moment of silence in memory of legend Bill Bittaker. Lap number 1 complete. Matt Gribble, your race leader. Again, the first 2 laps in memory of Bill Bittaker. The door off of his number 32 sits in the infield underneath the Knack Tuning Victory Lane sign. His grandson, Blake Bittaker, on the flag stand, going to wave the green flag in memory of Wild Bill Bittaker, legend and Hall of Famer at Midvale Speedway. Bill Bittaker, Godspeed, green flag. Brandon France going to have the race lead into turn number 3. A lot of smoke from the 24 of Nick Grubbs going to be sent pit side. Brandon France, your race leader. Brandon France got Randy Gray all over the back of him, and now caution on the speedway. 26 laps to Gray, McMillan, Cox, Gribble, and McClintock, your front six. Green flag, back in the air. Brandon France hanging on to that inside lane. Randy Gray trying to work the outside. McMillan now to the inside of Randy Gray. So Doug McMillan climbing out of the 54 on the front straightaway. Great sight to see Doug McMillan, a hard hit on the front straightaway. Back from the fence, on the front straightaway, back from the fence. Five laps complete. Here in week number 8, Brandon France and the 09 of Philip Cox. Once again, stay back from the fence. Keep your eyes peeled. And green flag back in the air. Brandon France going to have the lead. Here comes Kevin McClintock as he gets underneath Philip Cox for the second position. And the 87 of Zach Leisure way up the racetrack. He's going to tag the tail end of the field. Actually, the 87 of Zach Leisure are going to go pit side. Kevin McClintock not waiting. Taking a look to the outside of Brandon France for the race lead. Brandon France continuing to lead. Kevin McClintock to the outside, trying to get around Brandon France. The outside lane just not quite there. Brandon France doing a whale of a job out front. The 55 of Brandon Bailey right there in the third spot. So halfway home, 16 laps in, 16 to go, and caution on the speedway. Caution on the speedway. Bailey and Philip Cox in row 2. Green flag back in the air. Kevin McClintock gonna have the race lead into turn number 1. Brandon France back to second. Here comes Brandon Bailey and Bob Page. They battle for the third spot. The Rooster on the outside looking to get alongside of Brandon France for that second spot. McClintock, your race leader. Top break for Bob Page as he pulls to the infield with a broken wheel on that machine. McClintock, your race leader, with 10 laps to go. With 12 laps to go, rather. 11 to go this time. 11 to go for Kevin McClintock. Laps to go for Kevin McClintock. Brandon France, Brandon Bailey, Philip Cox in fourth, and Lewis McGrath in fifth. Gribble in sixth, then Jerry DeVore, Bobby DeVore, and Mike Stone. Five laps to go for Kevin McClintock. Brandon France continuing to do a great job in that second position. Brandon Bailey in third. Philip Cox fourth. Lewis McGrath in fifth. White flag for Kevin McClintock. Final time down the back straightaway. A race that I know that he wanted to win for his friend, Bill Bittaker. In Bill's memory, Kevin McClintock wins. Brandon France with a great run in second. Brandon Bailey third. Philip Cox fourth. And Lewis McGrath in fifth. Another awesome feature in the Van Meter Auto Repair Modifieds. Brandon France. A great second place finish tonight. Kevin McClintock ran the Bill Bittaker throwback paint scheme a couple of years ago. Very much going to be an emotional victory lane for the driver of this number 38, Blick Tool and Die. Alicia Manley, MD, Dave's Auto Body, Consolidated Stitches Embroidery, Federated Auto Parts, Rod Run Cheese House, the sponsors on the number 38 in neck tuning victory lane. So getting ready to climb out, getting the Powerade from his wife in victory lane. Bill Bittaker's door sits on the left front tire of this number 38. Getting ready to climb out. Here is your winner for the second time in 3 nights, K-Mac, Kevin McClintock. Getting that swig of Powerade. Let him soak this one in for a minute. All right, I'm not going to talk to you very long because I know this is an emotional thing for you. First and foremost, talk about what Bill Bittaker meant to Midvale Speedway.
Everything.
What does it mean to you to have that door sitting right here right now? I know I wasn't supposed to put you on the spot, but I have to.
Means a lot. On that restart, I'd have drove this goddamn thing clear to Barnhill into turn 1 to get ahead.
Well, there you go. I apologize for Kevin, but you can understand how emotional he is, right? Who you want to thank on this 38 tonight, and we'll let you just celebrate with your family.
You know, I got a bunch of good sponsors. I'm not going to stand here and say them all. Van Meters and them. I got a great wife, great family. Schweitzer and I work our tails off on this thing. We made a major adjustment this week. We adjusted 4 times tonight, twice in hot laps, once after qualifying and once after the heat race. And if he's out here, I think it worked.
One more quick thing I got to ask you. Brandon France, kid's really coming along.
That kid ran me as good as you could run, and I tried a long time early, and I was like, oh, no. So then I decided just to kind of settle my tires. So I thought, we'll probably get a restart here, but I'm not going to take no more time. I hope my buddy Doug's okay. He's a great friend of mine, and I don't like seeing that, but, oh, it feels good to win on a night like this for Bittaker.
Congratulations. Your winner, K-Mac, Kevin McClintock in victory lane for Wild Bill Bittaker. How cool to have Jeff Bittaker and Blake Bittaker in Victory Lane here with Kevin McClintock. About a big round of applause for the Bittaker family, just to let them know that you're thinking about him and thinking about Wild Bill tonight. Some 20-lap feature starting on the pole. Bob Page in the 67, the grocery getter, starts on the pole. Alongside Steve Mowry in the 28 for Frank Boyce tonight. Starting in row number 2, the 55 is Robbie Kordiak. The 22 is Kyle Rector. The 75, Bob Passwater Sr. The 22 of Kylie Wood. Your fastest qualifier, the 88 is Dennis Wood. He'll start inside of row number 4, along with the 3 of Kyle Grove, the 118 of Colt Locker, the 44 of Brandon Dunn, the 58 of Zach Koger, the 54 of Chase Berkey, the 64 of Ian Porco, and the 7 of Gabe Pringle. Green flag in the air. So caution, Steve Mowry jumping a little bit into turn number 4, off of turn number 4. So we'll try it again. Bob Page, Steve Mowry on the front row. Getting ready to go, green flag racing. 20 laps, green flag in the air. Mowry has the advantage on the high side coming off turn 2, but Page going to battle back on the bottom. Even Steven in turn 3. Page, Mowry. Lap number 1 to Bob Page. Mowry going to tuck in behind. Good battle for that 3rd spot between Kordiak and Rector. Bob Passwater Sr. going to go to the inside of Kyle Rector, take over the 4th spot, move Rector back to 5th. Kyle Grove on the march in the outside lane. Page continues to lead Steve Mowry. Robbie Kordiak, Bob Passwater Sr. Caution, the 99 of Jason Gruhl spins in turn number 4. Kroger and Donnelly. and green flag. Bob Page, Steve Mowry still side by side. Mowry up the racetrack. Page going to have that race lead. Bob Passwater Sr., a nice run, and now contact between, looks like Ian Porco and Jason Gruhl in turn one. Grove and Rector in back to green, 11 laps to go. And we're green. Mowry trying to hang on the outside lane, but here comes Passwater Sr. Bob Passwater Sr. to the inside of Steve Mowry for second. Bob Page, your race leader. Passwaters gets around Mowry for second. Mowry almost into the wall off of four. Kordiak trying to get to his inside, and he does. Robbie Kordiak to the inside of Steve Mowry for third. Here comes Grove and Wood following him through, and now Passwaters right on the back with 67 of Bob Page. Five laps to go for Bob Page. Bob Passwater Sr., Robbie Kordiak, Kyle Grove, Dennis Wood, your top five. Passwater Sr. Bob Passwater Sr. looking for that feature victory. Bob Page looking for one as well. Turn 4, green flag in the air. Passwater still in that outside lane. Page on the bottom. Bob Page will be your race leader. Bob Page, Passwaters, Kordiak, Wood, and Grove. White flag for Bob Page. Off turn number 4, your winner, Bob Page, Passwater Senior in second. Then Cordiak, Wood, and Grove. Bob Page in victory lane. He won in the modifieds a few weeks ago. Now he wins in the grocery getter. In the Shaw, welding and repair, Heron Heating and Cooling, Smoker's Paradise, sponsored number 67. Getting ready to climb out, your winner, Bob Page.
How about Basswater C? Good run.
Come on over here, my friend. Well, Knack Tuning victory lane in a modified a few weeks ago. Now in the grocery getter. Congratulations, man.
Thanks. It's a lot of fun. That car is fun to drive.
Well, and I bet you Lucas would say the same thing from last year, right?
Yes, he would, and a lot of people don't know that's what's built in my garage from the ground up.
Well, there you go. Who you want to thank on the 67 tonight?
Got Heron's Heating and Cooling, Shaw Welding and Repair, Smoker's Paradise, LTR Industries, JT, Jimmy for helping, Shauna, Bullseye Pheasants.
And I got to ask you, I kind of picked fun at you, but your belly doesn't rub the steering wheel like the other driver.
Yeah, that's true.
But your short little legs almost can't reach the pedals either. You're going to have to get little hands like blocks in there.
Yeah, that's for sure. I got to stretch out to reach the pedals.
Congratulations, buddy. Your winner, Bob Page. Mike McDonald, the 44 Mike Stuber, the 178 is Stephen Feaster, the 13 of Kenny Feaster Jr., the 64 is Jamie Leslie, the 007, your fastest qualifier, Don Rufner Jr. Billy. The 69 is Tabitha Stuber, the 22 of Katie Wood. As the green flag is in the air, Savannah Alm, Ryan Alm, Phil Barton Jr., Dan Sharpless, Will Custer, and Jonathan Weber to round out the field here. 20-lap feature. Timmy Kalp going to have the race lead through turns 3 and 4. And off of turn number 4, Timmy Kalp going to lead lap number 1. Curtis Finlayson on the outside. Caution on the back straightaway. Car stopped on the back straightaway. Timmy Kaup, your race leader. Green flag back in the air, Timmy Kaup and Curtis Finlayson. And it looks like Mike Stuber possibly losing an engine as he goes into the pit area. Caution on the speedway. To go, Timmy Kaup will start up front with Blaze Bacon. Green flag is in the air. Blaze Bacon, your race leader. The 178 is Steven Feaster now up to the second spot. Timmy Kaup back to third as Kenny Feaster Jr. trying to get around him for that third spot. Jamie Leslie in fifth, looking for fourth with Don Rufner Jr. Blaze Bacon halfway home. 10 laps in, 10 to go. Steven Feaster to the outside of Blaze Bacon. And the 27 of Billy Hilliker and the 443 of Connor McLean get together on the back straightaway. Getting ready to go back to green, Bacon and Feaster. Green flag in the air. Steven Feaster. Green flag. Stephen Feaster trying to get a run on the outside of Blaze Bacon, but Bacon doing a nice job in the bottom lane to hang on to that lead. 13 laps complete this time. Still side by side between Blaze Bacon and Stephen Feaster. Kenny Feaster Jr. in third, Rufner Jr. fourth, Jamie Leslie fifth. White flag this time for Blaze Bacon. Final time through 3 and 4. Off turn number 4, your winner, first career feature win, Blaze Bacon. Stephen Feaster second, Kenny Feaster Jr., Don Rufner Jr., and Jamie Leslie, your top 5. First career feature victory, Blaze Bacon, sizzling in neck tuning victory lane. Pulling in the neck tuning victory lane, first career feature victory. Big old smile on that face. Getting ready to climb out. Belts undone. Driver of this number 57. Here's your winner, Blaze Bacon. Give him Mom a hug. Nothing like that. All right, come over here, young man. Great job. I always say when you're heading to the front, you're sizzling. You were sizzling tonight, brother.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of cautions out there. It was kind of getting scary at first, but he ran me a clean race, and we had a good time out there.
Absolutely. You guys side by side, great, clean racing up front. That's all you want, right? When somebody is on the outside of you or on the inside of you, just race me clean and give me room, right?
Yeah, we pulled 3 wide like 4 times before the first caution. It kind of scared me, but hey, I stuck it out though.
Congratulations, man. Who you want to thank on this 57 tonight?
All the Roofiners, Mike Sweeney, my mom, my whole family, all my friends. Dream come true.
Congratulations, buddy. Welcome to Neck Tuning Victory Lane. Your winner, Sizzlin' Blaze Bacon.